Well, this is the perfect game for all parties, not least the neutrals who've just come to enjoy it.
Well, at least on the face of it, Peter, there's very little at stake in this.
But, Jim,
Well, it still gives ample opportunity for some fringe players to make their case. So I'm inclined towards something that's still high in intensity, in conviction, in tempo even. And that's not a bad thing.
well, we're underway. Who do you, Jim, see making the difference here?
I would say, Peter, it's got to be Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. We know he's got that positional discipline and leadership, but he's got an all...
And a header! It's there! An extraordinary start! Breakthrough in next to no time!
Well, talking about stepping things up from the off, that's how you start a football match.
Pour l'équipe de Côte d'Ivoire. Après 5 minutes de jeu.
He watched it all the way, and the finish was unerring.
So well played, Peter. Did a great job keeping sight of the ball, made a classic move and made it perfectly.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. It's a good foot in there. Is that a foul? Yes, the referee's given it. Højbjerg. And this is Eriksson. He's found a way through. Eriksson was ultimately thwarted there, but it took a few of them to stop him.
Well, he's not the type that's short on self-belief, so that could rub off on his teammates now.
Oh, shooting chance! Oh, denied brilliantly!
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
And we have our very first corner. And he's gone looking for safety. So just the one early goal to report so far. 1-0 the score. Isaacson, quarter of an hour played. He is through here! Well, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside. Played out to the left flank. He's got plenty of space out wide here.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Oh, that's well done, really robust. Ivory Coast already with the upper hand and looking to turn it into something close to dominance. It's a really well-measured ball. Chance to do... Fofana! And he has kept it out somehow.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Ericsson, pass somewhat off target. Fofana. That's a delicate pass. That's the keeper's ball. And it's Fofana. Gesson. That's Fofana. Ericsson. Isaacson. And that has left him in a heap.
Ivory Coast really should be happy to let this half run out now and go again second.
Isaacson has the space to scheme. Engages and forces him off the ball. In early. That's a good ball. Hoyland! Oh, terrific save from the keeper.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Kessié. And Sangare. Over to the right flank.
Il y aura 2 minutes de temps additionnel.
Kessié. Perry. Zaha. He is wide and looking to get onto this. Shot a goal! So a temporary halt to the action. So a steady, solid and more than satisfactory first half. They've got the lead and that gives them something to build on after the break. Ivory Coast up by 1 goal at the halfway point.
On the evidence of what we've seen, they're worth their lead. There was genuine intensity and purpose behind what they brought to the game. I think they'll want a strong start just after the break, though, to force the issue that bit more.
Ivory Coast are in a pretty decent position after 45 minutes. 1-0 to the good.
Et les voici. Merci à tous d'accueillir nos joueurs.
So we're off again.
Ivory Coast definitely want to carry on in a similar manner, although I would exercise some caution, Peter. You wouldn't want to leave yourself open in the early minutes trying to kill this off.
And it's Fofana. Perry. Ericsson kept his eye on it, and he's there. Some front-footed pressing going on here. Isaacson. And it's Højbjerg. It's a promising position. Christensen gets flagged offside. Sangare. Spread it left. And here's Zaha. Norgard. Ivory Coast just about have their noses in front. It is the slenderest of leads.
Le nombre de spectateurs pour ce match.
It's a crossfield ball towards the other flank.
That's a great ball crossfield.
There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Spread to the right. Space for him to turn and look. Shoots! Højland. Your impression so far, Jim?
There's a lot of football still to be played, Peter, so ideally they need to maintain an attacking endeavour.
Great vision.
You'll be disappointed with that.
Christensen. You would think that now would be a good time to consider some changes.
Well, you would hope for some movement off the bench, Peter, knowing you get an extra sub in extra time.
Threads one in. Zaha providing an outlet on that flank. Gesson! Oh, and that one's done no damage in the end. Christensen. And here's Zaha. Sankare. Played out towards the right wing. Forced to go back.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Changement.
Time then for the first substitution of the game.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
1-0 as we head towards the end. Kessié, distributed tidily. Guesson. Played into the Fofana! He will be livid with himself.
They're avoiding the blatantly obvious by not getting the ball into the opposition box. That's where it has to be.
Ball's gone out of play. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Well, that was tense. Boy, that was tense. The two sides separated by the game's only goal. Sankare voted man of the match, and deservedly so. How would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Ivory Coast honestly could have done themselves a real favour by trying to make more of what they had in the minutes after the goal. But with the control they had, they were never really under threat of losing this piece.
Well, thanks for your company, Jim, and a very good day to you.